Hey, I want to take some time today to answer a question now that I-1639 has passed in Washington state. Now, for those of you not familiar with I-1639, it is one of the most egregious and far-reaching anti-gun legislative acts in a long time. It is going to make Washington state very unfriendly to gun rights. And the question people keep asking me, well, wait, before I go any further, let me add one thing. It hasn't really passed yet. Because I'm filming this the night before because I got stuff planned with my son tomorrow. And I just now got back from, volunteering at some ballot gathering places. So I just got home. It's late. I haven't had a chance to check any results. But what I was hearing there didn't make me feel secure about 1639. So I'm just going to assume it passed. I'm hoping it doesn't. Fingers crossed. I'd cross other things if I could without falling down. But fingers crossed that it doesn't pass. If it doesn't pass, well, then this will be answering the question in a hypothetical sense. Like, would I have done this? But the question I want to answer is, now that it has passed, wink, wink, will I stay in Washington state or will I move? Now that it is going to be a very unfriendly state to gun owners. And the answer to that is, no, I will not move. I will not move. Now, because here's the truth. And don't be thinking, oh, you're so brave, you're going to stay there and fight. Here's the truth. And I know people aren't going to like what I say here, but stick with me through the whole thing before you panic and start, typing out hateful shit. It doesn't affect me very much. It's not going to stop me from owning anything I want to own. I'm middle to upper middle class. And I'm white, these things don't really affect me. They don't prevent me from doing anything. I can afford an extra $25 tax on a semi-automatic weapon. I can afford to pay for training every 2 years. I can afford all these little financial things it throws on me if I want to buy a gun. I don't want to pay them, but I can afford them. These types of laws, they don't hurt people like me. They don't hurt middle to upper middle class or wealthy people, especially not wealthy white people. And I'm not wealthy, but I'm white. Got one thing going for me. And just that one thing usually. But they aren't designed to hurt me. They're designed to hurt low-income people and minorities. And this law will definitely hurt low-income people and minorities. But I will have to go through some things that are unpleasant to stay and fight. Which I am going to do. I am going to stay and fight this tooth and nail. Everything that happens between now and the time this bill goes into effect and all the lawsuits that get filed, I volunteer to do whatever anyone needs me to do. If you're the GOA, if you're any organization here that files a lawsuit against this, hell, even if you're the NRA, I will come up and do whatever you need me to do. Speak, hand out shit, walk around and canvass stuff. I'll do whatever I gotta do. Appear in court, or whatever. But here's the thing. There are some things I'm going to have to do that I don't like. One of which is, if I'm going to buy a semi-automatic gun, I have to basically sign away my right to privacy when it comes to my medical records. But I'm okay with that. Believe it or not, I'm relatively healthy. You might not be able to tell that by looking at me. By looking at me, you might be wondering, I wonder if this is going to be his last video. But I'm actually rather healthy. So I've got nothing really to hide. Hell, I've never even had an STD. Well, unless you count crabs. I don't count crabs as an STD. That's just like having friends drop by unannounced. Sure, it's surprising at first, but eventually they leave. You just got to coax them out a little bit. But I've got nothing really to hide when it comes to my medical records. Believe me, it'd be different if they were looking into some other things. But medical records, I got nothing to worry about. So I think it's a great infringement on me. But if it means being able to stay here and fight, I will do with that. I will pay that extra $25 tax. I will put up with having a background check on me run on me yearly, even if I'm not buying something new. I will take the training courses that they require me to take, and I will pay for them. In fact, I might pay for some other people to take them too. So I will do what the law requires me to do because I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fight. I will sacrifice my privacy. I will do whatever. And I'm not saying this to make me sound like some sort of hero. This is just something I feel very strongly about. I think most every gun owner in my position would do what I'm going to do. So to answer the question, am I going to leave now that 1639 is the law, or will be the law soon, or would I have if it would have become the law? Because remember, we got two different scenarios to deal with here. No, I am not just going to run away. I don't want it to get to where there's 8 states in the union that still have gun laws and everywhere else has horrible gun laws. The 8 state union still have good gun laws and all of us have to fucking move there. You know, it's going to get kind of cramped in, you know, Arkansas and Nevada. And plus, I don't like the desert, so I definitely ain't moving to Nevada. I like my land I have here. I'm going to stay and fight for it. And if that does involve some civil disobedience eventually, I'm willing. If I have to. I don't want to have to, but because here's the thing when it comes to gun rights, when you commit civil disobedience, you got to make sure it doesn't cross into the felony level or they win because they take the gun rights away from someone who was willing to fight for gun rights because you commit a felony. You basically just give up if you do that. So you got to be really careful. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stay. I'm going to fight now that this is law, or I would have stayed and fought if it had become law. So I hope that answers the question, because I think too many people are too quick to run away when things like this happen. I'm just going to leave the state. Well, for one, for someone my age, it's not that easy to leave the state. It's not that easy for me to walk down the hill. So I ain't going anywhere. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be fighting it. And like I said, if it passes, I want everyone out there to know, like I said, no matter who you're associated with, if you need help from me, if you need any help from me in fighting this, just let me know. I want to take a little time today to discuss the fact that, and if you're not sure what 1639 is, well, hey, I want to take some time today to Hey, I want to take some time today to answer some questions. A question. Hey, I want to take some time tonight, today. Oh, one thing I want to add here at the end of this video. If you've been eating leftover Reese's cups on your desktop because, you know, Halloween, we didn't get any kids, so I had leftover candy, and you see what you think is a piece of a Reese's cup that has broken off, you know, the little ridges sometimes break off while you're eating them, do not just pick it up off the floor and eat it automatically, assuming it's chocolate, without doing a little bit more thorough investigation, because it might just be a piece that's broken off a pair of wood grips, which this was. And you find it out the hard way when you bite into it, and it's sharp and it's hard. So just a little word of wisdom there from someone who's, you know, lived quite a while, kind of an old guy, and I've learned some lessons. And here's a new one. Like I said, don't eat shit off the floor until you make sure it's edible.